Hey folks, welcome to the Wealth Transfer with TC. Today I'm going to talk about AMC and Disney. There's some rumors going around about Disney buying AMC, and it looks like that Aron is actually signaling something like that may actually happen. And then I also want to touch on, what I want to do with Disney as far as this wealth transfer. Now, before I get started, folks, I'm not a financial advisor. I'm just sharing information, giving you my thoughts and my opinions on that information. And if you guys like these videos that I make, the support links are down below in the description and also the About section of YouTube. All right, folks, before I get into any news, I do just want to go ahead and touch on the price of AMC, Ape, and Disney. Okay, and so AMC currently is sitting at $7.21. Now, this is a stock that I've been holding on to and going back and forth with this whole fight against the elite and how they're trying to destroy the financial markets and how they're trying to destroy your average investor and steal from your average investor. And even more things have come out about FTX, which is relating to AMC. And just doing some research, you can see that there's people talking about it. And we're going to talk about tokenized AMC stocks, basically synthetic stocks. If you know this guy right here, Sam Bankman and FTX, and he created on his trading platform FTX tokenized stocks, right? But he didn't have actually own any stocks from what I understand. He just created these tokenized stocks out of thin air. That's the way that I understand it. So they were able to continue to short AMC and GME, right, with synthetic shares, basically. People are like, okay, where is Gary Gensler in all this? And I'm going to probably do a separate video on this, but, you got to remember who his boss is, okay? And for him to go after his boss's people, there's a conflict of interest. And there's a lot of things that are going on behind the scenes that might be preventing him from doing what he really wants to do, right? And if you listen to Gary Gensler before he became the SEC, I understand all his connections and all that stuff, but don't expect him to investigate Democrats unless he's forced to, okay? Because let me share this with you, because when Trump was in office, he said he was going to drain the swamp, he was going to get rid of the corruption, and his own person in the SEC is one of the reasons why, first of all, we have all these issues with XRP in this lawsuit. Second of all, he did nothing to stop the legal shorting that was going on in the stock markets at all whatsoever. Nothing came about it. Your average traders or experienced traders saw what these hedge funds were doing. And so even though his people had 4 years to clean up the stock market, they did nothing to clean it up. All right. And then here we are right now. And then everybody's yelling at Gary Gensler to clean everything up. Like, really? This stuff has been going on for a long time, right? And that's why the SEC position should be held by, somebody that's nonpartisan. I don't even know how you'd even do that. Maybe somehow, some way, not be chosen by the president of the United States. Getting back to FTX, so basically they were creating synthetic tokenized shares, right, and making it easier to short. And they're saying there's billions of synthetic shares, and that's what we're waiting for, right? We're waiting for that moment for this short squeeze. I've been in this for some time now, and honestly, following it from the very beginning, being in it and swing trading it and everything else, you get to a point where you're tired of hearing about the short squeeze, right? You just kind of want this investment to be done and over with. And at the same time, the reason why I'm involved in this was to expose what's going on in the stock market with synthetic shares, right? And for the average investor, we're never going to really win unless we're playing the same game as they are, which is cheating. So then we also have this AMC Ape stock down to $1.26, and as everybody knows, it's supposed to be trading at the same price as AMC. So I don't know what's going on with that, and we're still waiting to see all this stuff that's coming out of FTX, and it's really, really bad when it comes to the stock market. And, the politicians are involved in this too, and that's why you haven't seen anybody get arrested yet. Billions of dollars just gone and used illegally, and yet there's no arrest or anything, folks. This is how deep the corruption goes. So I have plenty of AMC shares. I have plenty of Ape shares. And I know people are going to ask, where do I get mine? I do get mine on Webull. and also some of the other trading platforms. I spread it out. But if you do want to sign up for Webull, that link is down below in the description. I also have some on Fidelity and TD Ameritrade too as well. Now, looking at the Disney stock, and because of their new CEO, Bob Iger, Disney brings back Bob Iger after ousting Chapek as CEO. Mr. Iger is returning to the company. He ran for 15 years after being succeeded by Bob Chapek in 2020. And this is good news for Disney. In their 52-week low, which wasn't that long ago, really, down to $86.28, right? The 52-week high is like $160. So that's like double. It almost lost half of its value. Now, when it comes to Walt Disney, I know there's a lot of people, and I believe a lot of the same things that a lot of people believe what's going on with Disney and what they're trying to do on a spiritual scale. And how what they do are affecting the masses and how they're affecting children and everything else. And hopefully that when this wealth transfer happens, we'll have the opportunity to change that. Okay, and you can look at their market cap, $176 billion right now. So if we wanted to go in and buy Disney so we can change it, that's about how much money that we would need, right, to buy it out, right? And it's probably going to take a group of people to do it, but I'll get back into that later. So with Disney coming back, there's all this talk about Disney buying AMC. And I want to share some things concerning that. And one of the things is Aron. And he's wearing this tie, okay? And this tie, according to what people are saying on Twitter, this is a Disney tie, right? And he's not just wearing this Disney tie once or twice. He's wearing it actually quite actively. And so other people are talking about this particular tie being a signal that Disney is getting ready to purchase AMC, right? And we know that Aron does talk in code. So this is very interesting, getting ready to play a short clip. And everybody is talking about this little part. I guess this came out 7 days ago. And it took a couple days, I guess, for people to really pick up on this. But so you can see, again, he's wearing the tie.
What does it take to get this to be a profitable enterprise? Last quarter, you burned through about $179 million. And I think there's real questions about what the long term of this looks like.
Well, I don't have questions about the long term. I just have questions about right now. Because
So did you notice that he grabbed his tie? And he grabbed his tie as he's talking about the future of AMC. And a lot of people talk about, especially with his tweets and stuff like that, he talks a lot in code. But this could be the second signal besides the tie itself that Disney's getting ready to buy AMC. Disney itself, when it comes to the movies, right, they're missing a lot when it comes to the content that they have. You talk about Marvel, right, which has been completely destroyed over the last several years, right? It's not like what we grew up on. And you look at Star Wars, right? You haven't seen a Star Wars movie in the movie theater for how long now, right? And you're talking about billions of dollars lost from not showing Marvel movies and Star Wars movies, right? So that's hurting Disney, and they need that cash. The Star Wars series that they're producing on Disney, like Andor and Boba Fett and The Mandalorian, those are very expensive series, and showing them just on Disney Plus is good for Disney, because without Star Wars, Disney would be in the dumps right now. A lot of people don't like the woke Marvel films, and they are very, very, I haven't even watched any of them, but I watch other YouTubers talk about how bad some of these Marvel movies and series are. So apparently it was the first time that he actually wore this tie was on November the 15th when he was in London. You can see the tie there. And he actually retweeted this, right? This guy said, there may be a Disney tie here. CEO Adam ? He's wearing this tie, right? With the Disney, Mickey Mouse on the tie, representing Disney. Yep, worn at my London screening in honor of Black Panther, Wakanda Forever, and the millions of moviegoers who will see it in our theaters. More than 4.9 million saw it on AMC or Odeon in just the first 4 days. Right? So he said there may be a Disney tie here, right? And he said, yep. And he's not talking about, an actual tie, right? They're tied in together. And I forgot to mention that AMC does have a partnership already with Disney. Okay, and that started back in last year in 2021. So they already have some business ties together. So yet again, he's signaling something's about to happen with this. This is what I'm thinking. And I think this is what a lot of other people are thinking too as well, right? It's just a theory. It could be just all games. If Disney buys AMC, that could actually cause the squeeze. So prophetically speaking, a lot of people all over the world, I have that video, and just random people posting their dreams about seeing AMC at different prices. Now, some people have seen it at over 100,000. However it gets there, I have no idea. But if there are billions of synthetic shares, most definitely when the shorts have to cover, it could actually drive the price up that high. I've seen videos on why and how it can get that high. And with these tokenized synthetic shares, it just makes it more even possible now. So with Disney bringing back their old CEO, it's a good thing as far as the company itself. Now, as far as the way that I look at, the wealth transfer, we've talked about McDonald's and other stocks that God has shown people how low it's going to go, right? The stock market, when these major transfers begin. And so the way that I look at it is, okay, how can we make Disney, the Magic Kingdom, into God's kingdom? And of course, the only way to do it is to buy them out. And there's going to become a time when the Dow, according to the prophetic, the Dow is going to reach like 6,000, right? It's over 32,000 and something, or 33,000. The economy and the stock market is going to be completely wrecked. But for those of us who are following God's wealth transfer plan, we'll be able to do some things with the funds that he provides us and help bring in God's kingdom on earth the way that he envisioned it before he comes. And so one of the things that I would like to do is to buy Disney out, right? That's how you're going to change the world, right? If you don't like the way Walt Disney does things, right, then the only way, yes, right now you can avoid it. You can boycott it. But what I'm going to try to do is try to buy it, and maybe some of us can get together. And as we're going through the wealth transfer, building up our wealth, right, we know what some of the pricing points are going to be for some of these cryptocurrencies, right? We're going to, as a group together, we could actually probably buy out Walt Disney. 176 billion right now, as far as where it's at, is a lot of money. But as far as the future, that should be the goal, right? If you want change, then that's the way to do it, is to buy them out and make the changes, right? Because everything that I grew up watching as far as Disney, all of it has been tainted. And just to kind of give an example of that, when you look at the Star Wars series, when you look at Obi-Wan, and they tried to turn it into a woke series, and it backfired on them, right? They ruined a great opportunity for Obi-Wan and Darth Vader and all that, but they tried to turn the series into a woke series. It was absolutely ridiculous. And the fans of Star Wars let Disney know that. So many of you already know that I have my own particular projects that I'm working on, and at some point down the road in the future that I will be able to manifest these projects. And one of the things was that I found out very quickly, and it's part of what I've been through trying to get a studio to pick up my projects, and only to come to find out that, you got to make sacrifices in order to get into the business. And that's one of the things that I found out. It doesn't matter how good your script is. It doesn't matter how good the project is. If you don't have your own money to really build a project, and for me, it was going to take millions of dollars. And so that's one of the reasons why I'm doing and being involved in stock trading and cryptocurrency trading, so that I can produce everything myself and not have to be subject to anybody else, be subject to any company that wants to change the storyline or change the history of what actually took place. I don't have to worry about all that. So that's the other reason why I'm in the wealth transfer, so that I can have the funds to do what God wants me to do. And I think the long-term goal is, if there's going to be an opportunity to buy Walt Disney, I think that we should do that. And that's how we're going to change things. So you guys tell me what you think down below in the description. At some point, when things get more serious, maybe we'll start getting maybe a group of people who really want to do this and who are actually trying to take the wealth transfer all the way, right, from Egypt to the promised land. Maybe we'll form some type of group when we get to that point with people who have taken advantage of the wealth transfer, right? And we can create our own company that could actually purchase Walt Disney in the future, if that's what God wants us to do, right? But I think that, in order for change to happen, we have to be owners in these companies so that we can help change the world. So anyways, folks, that is all that I have for today. I thank you guys for listening. God bless. TC out.